Welcome back to 843 TV. We're in a very special place today inside the Trolley, the Breeze Trolley, which is the fairly new public transit system here on Hilton Head Island. And Hannah Horne is here to share a little about all the things that are happening coming up this spring.
All aboard!
There you go. Absolutely fun. So speaking of this, the town had an instrumental hand and partnership in having this come about. Share a little bit about that.
Right, so the Chamber is the destination marketing organization for the town as well. So we're thrilled that there is a public transportation option for our 2.67, almost 2.7 million visitors. And keep in mind as well, as we add on more air service, that's more and more folks that are not driving their cars over the bridge to get here. So public transportation, these trolleys, I believe, are going to be used more and more. And especially as visitors come here and they begin to know that they could, from their resort, which I hope stops begin at resorts, to be able to go to Shelter Cove, to Coligny, to be able to get the movie theater, Wexford, all of the places that the trolley has stopped. So we're thrilled as a chamber that this is something that Hilton Head now has available to its guests and residents, because it's for us as well.
That's what I was going to say. And those of us who live here that have to navigate the traffic, and wow, this just is definitely a wonderful addition for this coming up tourist season.
Because you think about it, I live in Shipyard, so I could ride my bicycle here to Coligny, put it in one of the racks, and then let the trolley take me to the fireworks in Shelter Cove, or somewhere around the island where, and they run so late at night, it's perfect for me. So I look forward to it.
And just in time for Heritage Easter coming up and all the fun, fantastic events. So I'm excited about the trolley myself. Let's talk about the annual Small Business Week that you all host. Tell us a little bit about that. It's a couple of weeks away.
So the Small Business Week is as a national celebration. There will be 1 week before us. We're going to celebrate our local Small Business Week beginning on May 13th. So all that week we have so many great activities that will involve the community. We have awards, we have a luncheon, we have a membership appreciation barbecue, all kinds of great events that will celebrate that spirit of entrepreneurship that we have here, that spirit of small business, that without those, the visitor experience would be very different, the residential experience would be very different. So we're just going to love on our small business owners and make sure that they get the recognition and the pat on the back that they truly deserve.
And quite honestly, a lot of what drives the island makes it operate are those small businesses, the restaurant owners, the small shop owners.
Right. Well, if you look around, for example, Coligny Plaza, local businesses, this is small business at its finest here on Hilton Head Island and in Bluffton. Now, Bluffton is starting to see more of the corporate, the big box move in, which we love the thought of maybe getting one day a Costco or a Trader Joe's. But until then, we've got a locally owned Piggly Wiggly, and we have smaller stores, we have boutiques, restaurants, all with that small business. And it takes courage to start a small business. It takes resources. Those folks, they go to bed and they wake up with a whole different mindset than those who are just collecting a paycheck. So we want to make sure that in that week again that we celebrate them, that we celebrate the spirit of entrepreneurship, that we encourage entrepreneurship among not only the folks who want to move here, but also what we call encore entrepreneurship, and that's with those folks who have retired or plan to retire. What are you going to do in those retirement years? You only play so much golf and tennis.
That's right.
Think about maybe investing in a small business whenever you get here.
Sure.
Providing a service that we currently don't have.
Now you award the small businesses, and the public can get involved in that. Tell us how they can nominate.
Absolutely. So just if anyone watching, someone is going to, or a business is going to come to mind where they're the real deal. They're getting it right. They do something so special and so unique for you. You may know the owners, you know how hard they work, and you'd like to nominate them for the Small Business of the Year award. We actually give 2 of them. So there's a Small Business of the Year, and then there is the newcomer, the new startup business of the year, and those have only been in business fewer than 2 years. So those established businesses that you can think of, we have a nomination form on our website, hiltonheadblufftonchamber.org, where you can just tell us about you, but then tell us why that you think this business should be nominated for the Small Business of the Year. And then at that point, we'll contact the business and say, hey, your friend or customer said that they thought you should be nominated. We'd love to hear that. And hopefully they'll go through the rigors of applying, because it truly is a competitive application for a business to receive this award, as you can imagine. The selection committee goes through the answers. It's asking them everything from not only the products and services that they sell, but the uniqueness of their business, what they're doing in the community, their uniqueness to hiring, the number of employees they have. So it really puts the onus on that business to market themselves for this award, plus provide financials of their business that are sealed, that are confidential, that a CPA looks at in terms of the solvency of their business. Yeah. That's an important element, and a lot of businesses are standoffish about applying for Small Business of the Year because they are resistant to providing that information, but It is absolutely confidential, sealed envelope, and I hand that over to a CPA and say, you look at it and give me the thumbs up, and then they become one of the finalists.
Well, that's great that you take a lot of pride and ownership and rigorous process through that. You would want that. As a business owner, I would think you would want that.
And if you look at our list of small businesses that have been awarded this in the past, they are a who's who of small businesses in this area that have deserved this honor. So, one that comes to mind, Patricia Owen from Faces. She won this award several years ago, and she will say that just launched them having that on their letterhead, putting that on their website, just set them apart. She went on to apply for the U.S. Chamber of Commerce's Small Business of the Year and was a finalist. Once you get that application done, this is just something that you can keep going, and it's a great marketing tool for your business to put you in a whole different light, whole different level.
The leadership class is a huge thing that you're involved with, and there's different aspects. There's one for adults, one for high schoolers.
Right.
Let's break that down and tell us a little bit about the one that you were just involved in.
Absolutely. So the Chamber has two leadership programs, one for adults and one for high school juniors. I'll start with the one for high school juniors because it is, of all of the programs that I oversee at the Chamber, this is the one that I love the most. Don't get me wrong, they're all fabulous, but it's the one program that when I walk away from at the end of the day, or I wrap up a day, an event, it's the residual effect of what you've invested in that those young people, and they will more than likely leave the island to go to college. But what I am seeing from these young people now that I've been doing this 6 years, I've seen them now graduate from college. I'm seeing them, some of them come back. I'm seeing them in positions around the world where they have used what they learned, the soft skills they learn in the program, the interaction, the teamwork, the things that we instill in them during their school year. That is just, it's wonderful. We've got 33 kids from 6 area high schools, all south of the Broad, but on Hilton Head and Bluffton, that come together for those 10 weeks. They are in classes once a month, and then they do a class project together, which we can talk about in a little bit. I'll transition to our adult leadership class. This is a competitive application. We have 17 in the class this year, ranging in age from their early 20s all the way to their 60s, all different kinds of professions. And you get a master's degree in the state of South Carolina, a master's degree in the Low Country. You will go through classes that teach you education, the healthcare system, the justice system. Today, as a matter of fact, they're at Arts and Environment. They're out at Palmetto Bluff touring the conservancy that they have there. They'll be at the Arts Center later today. They'll also do a class project. In all, over the 10 months that they're in their program that begins in August, ends with their graduation in June, I counted more than 120 speakers will come to them, will pour into them knowledge about our area, our municipalities, our county, our state, even our world, that will empower our community to be able to get involved, to make their voice heard, to know of our strengths, and perhaps get involved in our weaknesses. They are fabulous programs, and both are actually in recruitment right now.
Fabulous. Okay. So much information that I know you could spend our whole time on that one. Another important thing coming up is that 1% sales tax is about to take effect. So let's talk about that.
Absolutely. So you remember going to the ballot box back in November, and more than 50%, actually overwhelming majority, cast their ballot in favor of that 1 cent sales tax referendum vote that would go towards sending that penny towards transportation improvements. The big transportation, the big ticket ticket item on that referendum for us was, of course, the bridge, replacing the bridge that comes from Bluffton over to Hilton Head. That sales tax will go into effect on May the 1st. So from a consumer standpoint, you need to go ahead and calculate in your budget. You'll be paying an extra % on those goods. So if you have a big ticket item coming up, you'll really kind of see that on the bottom line. But for our businesses, you need to start thinking ahead that on that May 1st deadline, your point of sale systems need to change, your software systems need to change to come into compliance with whether you're an unincorporated Beaufort County or in the municipalities and what that tax % is.
And I imagine you and the chamber are going to be able to assist those businesses with that transition process.
If they need information, absolutely. This is actually the county collects the tax, but actually sends it to the Department of Revenue. So all of this is managed by the State Department of Revenue, and then it'll come back to the county for the needs that it has. But certainly, if any business has a question, we can put them in touch with someone who can get into the back end of their software system if they need to.
So much to learn from you always. It's always exciting to talk with you. And
people will be bored to death. I know. I hope you're watching this before you go to bed, because I will have just put you to sleep.
Hannah has a lot of energy, and that's why we love her, and that's why she loves our area. So thank you so much. And we thank you all for taking the time to watch this special episode of 843 TV, where communities come to speak.